Long journey, alright?
Oh well, hopefully not yet now, but hopefully.
Do the right thing, anyways, Charlie. All right. 100%. Nothing less. 100%, Charlie. But it's no good.
Doing everything I can.
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael Martin should tell up to show a wee bit of leadership. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, I suppose I know there's a lot of
No, 90%'s no good.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm saying?
I know it's
no good.
I was in a few good meetings over the housing agency, so they're planning to meet now again. They have a work group meeting the next few days again now, and then once that reports, then it comes into the government and the cabinet at that stage, and that's crunch time in terms of decisions. So, like, it's really important that all of the information is clear in terms of what's what, the whole T's and out of all the different things that are involved, all the different costs that are involved. So it's absolutely clear then what decisions need to be made, and obviously
the thing about it, Charlie, too,
in every way for 100% and get.
You know, things have to be moving a little bit quicker than they're moving, because the more houses come in, there's going to be more houses coming on board, and you're going to have a really problem. You think you have a problem now. Another 5 or 6 years time, you see a McConalogue can go and towns that got there. You know what I mean? You run through on them estates. There are people that don't accept that they have it, they don't think that they have it. That's coming down the line, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I know it has been a very slow process over the last
really
years.
It's 10 years or more.
At every stage, so it's really important that they, we need to get this agreed, and then. And I know, listen, people are moving, and it's important that people, and I know people have.
You know yourself, Charlie. If it goes, there's so many more houses comes on board. Where are you going to get the contracts? Where are you going to get?
Yeah, I know.
The houses needs to be started to be fixed.
Where are we going to all live, Charlie?
Get on with it, you know what I mean?
Where are we going to move to?
You know what I mean?
You're from Cairn yourself. You know the shortage of houses is there. You know what Donegal County Council's facing themselves.
Yeah, no.
So what are you proposing for that?
Listen, I'm open to all ideas around that.
No, you come up with ideas. We've told you what we need.
Listen, I mean, there's a challenge with rental accommodation at the moment, but it's important that people do have the full support for the cost of the rental accommodation while the work is getting done. Obviously,
but the cost doesn't come into it when there's nowhere to stay. Like, you can pay all the money you want, but you don't have actually somewhere to go to. What's the cost going to cover?
Yeah.
We just need to get a plan and prosecute everything organised.
Yeah, no, it needs to.
Like, you've had long enough now.
Well, listen, how you doing? From the very start of this process, I've been pushing it all the time. I mean, and I've moved.
But I don't think your party's been working for you, Charlie. I don't believe your.
Are they listening to you, Charlie?
People are listening.
I don't really believe your party's been working for you.
Listen, I mean, the T-shirt. I met with the.
He didn't meet with me. Has he been in Cairn? Cairn, you know yourself. Cairn Donnan on his own, the most affected area of this whole scenario. I've never seen Michael Martin in Cairn.
The whole of North Donegal is affected, like, so.
And Mayo. There's a lady there come from Mayo on her own today.
How are you doing?
Same as the TVs all over the place. It's not happening to you, don't care.
No, it's happening to. There isn't like, well, I know, speaking, and listen, nobody here from Donegal needs to be told this, but every single family in Donegal, North Donegal, is affected. I don't know a family that's not affected, but that's a.
Right behind Donegal, they're slowly creeping up there. And then Mayo hit like the way Donegal have. This is going to be a fiasco. So I can't understand why you ain't sorting it out now while you've got the opportunity to do it. You're kicking this ball further and further. This isn't going to go away.
No, it's definitely not going to go away. It has to be fixed.
So do you get on with it?
Absolutely. The quicker that happens, and that's at all times I've pushed to try and ensure that this could move as quickly as possible, right throughout in opposition in terms of the actual.
You pushed harder then than you're pushing now. Aye, then.
All times.
What are you doing about the people who started all this?
So the expert panel, and that did take too long,
Trustees
and then the
people
actual
like that, are you
scheme put in place.
investigating them or doing anything
But
about
Charlie,
them?
tell me now,
Nothing.
if Paddy Dover wouldn't done what he done and got this ball rolling, would you really have done anything?
Well, listen.
I'm being honest now, because it's only down the line since Paddy Dover started this here. Nothing had been done.
I've been pushing this issue for years. I mean, this affects families right across. I've been pushing this.
You should be making every time you get a chance to die.
For years I've been pushing it.
And don't worry about your party, Charlie.
Well,
But then you have to live in Donegal.
My objective here is to support the homeowners and support the families and the people and the neighbours.
Support us for what?
And that's what I've been doing.
100%, Charlie.
100%, Charlie. Is that what you're supporting us for?
of years to get 100%.
100%, and that's 100% true. And remember,
the mental health that you're causing to elderly, to children, to families that are just ready to retire.
Listen,
You're not waking up with that headache that we're waking up with. So you don't
Charlie, we know you'll
understand.
do you'll do the right thing, Charlie, because you're living in Donegal, and if your party turn against them, if they don't work with you,
listen,
if they
But
don't
will
work
you
with
do
you,
that?
Charlie,
Are you
walk away from
prepared
them.
to have balls and walk
Walk away
away
from them,
with
Charlie.
us?
That's to do if they're not working with you.
everything I possibly can.
What's your future plan that this doesn't happen again? What's your future plan that this doesn't happen again? You won't have an inquiry. You won't find out how these people got away with it. So what's the future? We get houses rebuilt. How do we know we're not in the same situation in 20 years' time if you don't have a future plan, bring regulation in to make sure this never happens again?
I agree. I mean,
So what's the plan then? You
the
agree?
systems that are in place, it all has to be reviewed to make sure
The systems have failed for years, Charlie.
it has failed.
Aye.
Since
I'm telling us here-
1976, the last time I...
There's a review. There's a review being undertaken at the moment in relation to building defects and the system around.
Has anybody
be-
walked onto Cassidy's quarry and tested the blocks? See the stones coming out of Cassidy's. Has anybody from Donegal County Council gone on to test that quarry?
What are you doing about that? Nothing.
That quarry's still trading, Charlie. This is going to keep going on for years and years down the road until you stop it.
9 years ago, was nine years ago.
Patrick,
How's it
how you
going, Charlie? 9 years, Charlie, being honest. 9 years ago, you were chatting to Sammy and McConalogue, and you told him at that quarry, and said, quarry's never been checked this day. That's would have been stopped 9 years ago, and now we've got double the problems. And that's why we can't fix it, and that's why we can't get it through 9010, because we've double the problems.
That's what happens when you kick the can down the road.
The quarries in Dublin be regulated, come on with stone and they close it. There's 2 already closed, but you go around Mayo, Donegal. What's happening? How is this going to happen? We have to stop this from happening in the future, not just now.
Yeah. There are certification systems in place there, okay, but they are being reviewed, and we need to make sure. Like, I mean, there's been a massive failure here, and we're seeing it emerging in some other counties as well, in relation to ensuring that the products were fit for purpose and did the.
Well,
so, and I mean, like, and it's going to cost. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money.
Doesn't matter what it costs.
Families,
Doesn't
massive
matter
amount-
what it costs,
costing
something
families-
that you're
costing-
I would have been. Charlie, see this money.
it doesn't happen
See
again.
this money thing that's
Yeah.
here. It would have been half as much as it
I
would have
know,
been
yeah,
if you
but-
would have got the thing. See, past and present governments. That's what's kicked us can down the road.
And yous are no better.
Fianna Fáil's on there
Absolutely
and
no
they're
better.
turning around. Fianna Fáil's lost its identity. So it has. They're a Republican party and all the rest. If they can't get their identity back for looking after family homes, they're you're on there for a reason, because you're in trouble. You know you sir. You have a chance to redeem it. No better way of redeeming it. It's family homes, boys. That's all the area citizens wants.
Listen, I mean, if you talk to Fianna Fáil and Donegal and all of the public representatives, we're all working hard to push this, Patrick. And the reason we're in government is to actually help people. Now, and as you know, the Taoiseach came up, met with families and put that.
Taoiseach were done
one family, Charlie.
5 miles,
Come on.
5 miles over the border and came and
He
sneaked
went-
back
he
out again.
visited-
He didn't come down.
He didn't
That's
visit.
the worst part of it.
We went for a full house, we went for a full.
Yeah, and he visited a house and met with one.
One house. And you're from Donegal, you're from Donegal, Charlie. Have you met any of the families in Carndonna, Buncrana, Moval?
Sure, you know in Donegal, you only have to go
Go
next
where?
door down the house.
Have you come
and-
to see what we're living through? Maybe if you come and see it, you can go back then to Michael Martin and say to Michael Martin, this is what's going
I've
on.
been dealing with this for years.
I tried to fair enough. You have been
families
shouting. You have been fighting. We need to fight harder. But another thing that's going on in there, I said to Dara O'Brien on there.
Yeah.
The working group's done all their hard work. They've got the proposal sitting in their hand ready. The government have passed away a meeting and passed away another meeting. I keep that can down to next week. Our proposals sitting ready. We worked right through the summer, and now they don't even have the decency to take us off it and get it. People's not looking forward to Christmas. You know what I mean? This next winter can be somebody's last winter, and it's happening. And somebody's going to die. And Dara O'Brien is the Minister for Housing. And he can't, he's the one cancelling meetings. Like, jeez. And he's only been on one meeting himself. Somebody needs to, somebody needs to change something about this. Like, is Mika going to be a top priority in there now on this year meetings? How up will I as Mika?
Well, it's a massive issue, Patrick, and in terms of the work group, hopefully it'll finish its work soon now, and it's important that it meets again soon, and it finishes. I know that the deadline is the end of September.
It was tomorrow. They cancelled for no reason.
Okay, no, but that needs to complete really soon. I know the end of September was set as the deadline for it to
Answer.
happen.
No, for the answer.
Yeah.
Answer's end of September.
And then listen, once the group, and obviously there's a lot, and as you know, it's the representatives in there are working really hard in terms of the nitty gritty and the detail and getting all. Listen, there was a lot of work. There was a lot of work to do in terms of actually looking at all. As you know, looking at all that detail, what's all involved, what costs are there. So that so we can actually get the scheme right and fit for purpose and actually
get the scheme right. It's already done with the Paris thing.
The working group will finish is work.
Working group's ready to rock. The working group is sitting ready to go.
That's good. I know I've been engaged with them and talking to them, and they've done a lot of work. And as soon as that comes out of that, then that goes to government, and then that comes then for the government decision to the Minister for Housing.
How long do you expect the government decision when the proposal's handed over? That's a question we need to answer. We're expecting now. When this working group was going on, have you been talking to and forth with Paul Benson?
Listen, Paul Benson deals with the Minister for Housing.
No, but Paul Benson's I'm with the working group to do the make us sing. So are you finding out what's going on?
I'm talking to Michael McGrath, or sorry, Darrell O'Brien, the Minister, and also
she's
the
to be
Taoiseach.
talking with him. So more or less, when the proposal's handed over, you'll be talking with him 3 weeks. We've answered.
Listen, as soon as that working group makes its report to government, I will be liaising immediately with Darrell O'Brien in relation to bringing that forward. So I will do my best to absolutely make sure it is dealt with as quickly as possible.
How quickly as possible? You're not talking 6 months. Can't possibly.
No. It has to be dealt with very quickly.
Give me some kind of answer.
Listen, I can't.
What do you hope yourself?
I want to get it dealt with within a very short period of time. Listen, I'm not going to. I can't say within a few days or whatever it is. I can't say specifically because I don't know. But what I do know is that I'll be working with the Minister for Housing and all my cabinet colleagues to make sure that it actually moves as quickly as possible and it's dealt with very quickly.
Well, as long as they know when they're on there, that there's people that are on their knees before this here now, and they're alive. But see if you come back on another crap 9-10 like that. People's family is not fit for Mammies, Irish families, they're not fit for this. Their mental health is ready to give up.
No one has criticised how this has moved so slowly over the last number of years more than myself and pushed to try and ensure that it would go. Obviously there was the scheme agreed then, whatever, but 18 months ago or so, as people started to engage with it, and that was it was accepted at the time on face value, but as people engaged with it, all the problems became clear, and likewise then in terms of trying to get those issues addressed and have them looked at, I've been pushing hard.
Charlie, I know you have, fair pity, you have. I seen you in the door whenever you get on, and I know you're not on that way long since us here's all way before yours. I'll let you know how you can be a national hero in Donegal if you can get this here double the line.
This boy here to see this boy here, Neil Martin. That's him.
I was talking to Neil Martin again as recently as yesterday about this. You know,
and what did he say?
To move on promptly, you know?
Well, if they're looking for to move on, I can't believe they're cancelling meetings. That's shocking to me.
Can you commit to giving the proposal yourself by hand to Darrell O'Brien today?
Just answer yes or no.
Listen, Darrell O'Brien, I've been talking to Darrell O'Brien all the time. He's very clear that I want 100% redress this, and I'm pushing for that. And listen, what will happen is the working group will agree to support the homeowners, the representatives who are in there who are working hard for all of you. They'll do that, and that'll be done within the working group itself. That'll go then straight to the minister, and then he'll engage with government colleagues and bring it to cabinet. And listen, I'll be doing everything I can as you know, and
so
I know you've been talking to
someone to die in all of this before you actually stand
we
up
need to get
and
homes
see
fixed
the
and
whole reality
and
of
there's
it.
so many dangerous
This is
situations
real.
there. I know.
But is it? In here, do you realise how real this is for us all here?
Listen,
Somebody is going to
I'm
die.
not now, and I've never been in any doubt of this because I've been living right in the middle of it everywhere. And I mean, there's nowhere more than.
Then you need to be kicking it up there then instead of stalling.
I've been living in the middle of everybody here.
So can you timeline and explain the process that goes from the proposal which is already ready?
After the working group will report, then the Minister of Housing then will have to consider that and bring it to government.
Well, tell Darrell Breen has no right to be cancelling meetings.
As will other office representatives, not just from Donegal, but from the other counties that are affected as well.
Can you reschedule this meeting as quick as possible? Give some encouragement for that as well.
I'll be pushing it every way I can.
That meeting has never been cancelled. Minister of Housing has cancelled a meeting against here. They're trying to turn around and say this is the most important things on family homes, and they're cancelling meetings. They did cancel meeting. It was on for 2 days, and it was cancelled today. We said we'll do tomorrow, and they said not tomorrow.
The end of September deadline that stands, and
what do you mean the end of the deadline? No, we're finished now. The end of September is when we want our answer. That's what it is. Not the end of September for the proposal. The proposal is ready. End of September was the top.
Once the working group completes its work.
Well, the working group is completed, and they know it. The working group is sitting ready, and Darrell Breen is the one cancelling meetings.
Yeah, but listen. Listen, I'll be. My objective, the reason I'm there.
Yes or no?
And say yes or no.
The answer is.
Any question?
Or the whip.
They're messing you
What
about,
about this?
Charlie,
What about the
you
whip?
should walk. They're messing you about,
The
you should
reason
walk.
I'm there. The reason I'm there is that. Hi, John.
Before you went in, before you got in, before people got in, you taught us 100%. You took photographs of me up in the office that you were up to bringing it. And now, you're in there, and I'm sorry, but you're doing nothing. You need to stand up, you need to either back out if you're fly, or get your buddies to fucking stand by you.
Fianna Fáil's finished for you, Charlie.
John, just be clear. I am, and I'm working very hard on it. And I work hard at all stages. And work. Hold on. Let's be-
Charlie, I haven't seen it.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. And work hard with the Micah group to push hard to get the scheme that was put in place.
Useless.
That was accepted at the time by the Micah group. Okay. That was accepted.
Yeah, because we didn't know what
I
that
know
meant.
that. And the issues that have evolved since then. And have engaged with the Micah group then in terms of having meetings with the minister to look at the issues that are there. Obviously, then there was massive public support and the protest that came behind that as well, which has put massive pressure on, which is absolutely appropriate in terms of the representing homeowners. But I've been working on it at all stages, in opposition or in government work. And in terms of the
You're
previous,
in government now, can you not get your boys to fucking...
and I'm working with them.
You're working with them.
And the T-shirt,
You're not working with us.
the T-shirt.
Well, is it the people before the party, or the party before the people? Is it the people before the party, or the party before the people? Because a lot of people in there need to answer that question, because a lot of people voted on from the people.
My sole purpose, Patrick, is to support the homeowners and the people of Donegal to get the scheme fixed and to get their homes fixed and to get 100% of it.
So you're willing to say you step down if we don't get 100%, Charlie?
I push it yourselves and all the other homeowners to push that scheme off the list.
No, yes, and no.
It wasn't accepted by the group at the time, Charlie. It was a small front, but they were destroyed on it.
Now we're stuck with it. We know people trying to
Politics are that's what
Oh my God.
I accept
Played politics with 90%.
homeowners agreed to
That's the done.
Homeowners did it in the homeless. You can't blame the homeowners, Charlie. Homeowners
You
did
should know what
it.
you were making us sign up for, which is a load of crap.
Listen, I worked with homeowners to support them, and it was their decision at the time. The issues have come and have become clear as people have engaged with it. It's not fit for the purpose that it was.
Charlie, tell us.
Charlie, you should have seen what the increase
Charlie,
in prices with all the building
You've been
materials.
asked a question here with this gentleman.
Charlie, tell us
What's
this
it going
as
to
a
do in the
politician.
future? Did you resign the party whip or
See as a politician,
Resign the
and
party
you
whip
just
for
say
one,
about
that's the
people.
question.
Did you
And
see,
you should say
was that
that you're going to
90%
give them
for
a
purpose?
new
You say that the person, you seen them in the long term, but I'm sure as a politician, you would have seen that not 90% wasn't fit for purpose.
I don't have any
You should have
magic.
seen it as
I don't have any magic radar or powers any more than anybody else. Everybody,
But you're on there, Charlie.
You're asking about the scheme, the 90-10 scheme that was recently introduced. In the same way as everybody else took it in good faith, I took it in good faith at the time that was going to do what it said. But as people engaged, it became clear.
So everybody in your party and all the politicians didn't see that wouldn't work. The normal person wouldn't see it won't because you can, you know what I mean? The normal person would vote. But a politician should see the 90% wouldn't have been put at work.
Oh, aye.
You know what I mean? A politician was bound to see it.
100%. You know what I mean? Hoodwinked undertaking
Well,
it.
you know what I mean? The normal person wouldn't see it. But a politician like Charlie, a smart man like Charlie, should see that it wasn't going to work. You should have seen it.
Right, Charlie, listen, you're standing with the people. Hang on.
Party works what the party says.
Someone is bound to see that this 90% not going to work.
That's
But
your
what you wanted to
job.
do is
That's
wanted
your
to sneak it
job
on,
to
get everybody to sign up on it, get agreeing
Well,
on
get the new one done past the end of September is the key now when you're on there, Charlie. That is the key. You get that passed and it's 100%.
Are you with us, Charlie, on this? Are you with the people or are you with your government? Who are you with?
I've always been with the
So,
people.
are you going to step down now if we don't get our 100%?
I'm going to. My work is to get 100%, and that's what I'll be doing.
Aye. And if you don't, what's the next march then? What's going to happen?
Answer the
That's not.
question.
I don't plan to be in that position. I plan to achieve to get it and to work to get it.
What's that what you're saying about party what?
No matter, listen, I mean,
It means it
no matter
doesn't
what,
vote for the
no
government,
matter,
votes against the
no matter
government,
what,
the government.
Aye, so you're,
And the
so
more
Charlie, are you willing to
TDs
do
that
that
fought
what he
against the
says?
government, It falls.
That's what we want to know, Charlie. Are you with us? Are you with us, the people? From Karen Donner, from Inishowen, from Donegal, the same as yourself. Are you with us, or are you with them on there? That's all we want, yes or no?
I don't know many times to say it, Paddy, and
Oh, just no, because you stammered right around it. Say it, yes or no? Are you willing to step down?
I'm with the public, I'm with
You're
the
with
people
us.
of Donegal, with the homeowners of
Right, so if
Donegal
we don't get 100% now, you're with us, you're going to step
And
down.
I'm in there to work hard to get that. And that's what I'm doing and what I will be doing.
So is that a yes or no? That's what I want, a yes or no?
It's clearly my objective, and what I'm about is getting 100% for homeowners in Donegal.
And what happens when you don't get it?
Well, I intend to work to get it.
Good man.
And listen, I mean, no matter what walk of life you're in, whether you're playing a game of football, and Paddy, you've played rugby, and you've played soccer, you've played whatever. You work with your teammates to achieve the result and to have your influence. Anybody that ever starts off the process by saying, if you don't do this, you don't do that, I'm walking out, weakens their position rather than strengthens the position, and it actually makes it harder to get a result than to get a result.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
You give me one
It'll
example.
focus their minds. If you turn around and say,
give me one example of where
I'm
it
not
works
going
any
to
walk of
Charlie,
life.
how
Any
long
walk
do
of
you
life.
go with it? I'm
And
going to resign when
normally it's a sign that you've lost.
Well, we're going to be asking all, see all the
You're using the wrong analogies there.
See the party up.
Politician here, sir.
See the party up that he's on. The party up that he's on about. What way is that? Well, you're saying if they ask you, you go against your
When
party.
he goes against it, he loses the
Yeah.
party.
So every funny kind of follow PD on there now over the next 2 weeks, the pressure's going to be on. As we're going to be asking them to go against the party up. Come out 100% and say they're going against the party up. Can you come out and say 100% that you're going to go against the party up?
What I'm coming out saying 100%, Paddy, is that I'm working to achieve 100%.
Right.
I'm working with all of them to do that.
So the answer is
Pressure on
no.
them.
I'm working with all of them to do that. And as you know, in every walk of life, that's the way you get the
No, that's
results.
alright. We'll keep the pressure on.
Charlie, can you tell us why now we shouldn't get 100%? Why should we not? Why are they on there debating it in the first place?
I'm spending all my time telling people why it should be 100%.
Aye.
Not why it shouldn't. I believe it should be.
So why is there even a question about it? We paid for a home. We've worked hard.
Fair enough. You
know-
can go. I said, look, take Dara Cleary and
Dara
another voice.
And you know, Dara
Ask them to come out and speak to us as well.
You know
We
what,
get a
with
word
Dara
across
and
them.
how he's working closely with...
Well, they shouldn't have cancelled the meeting, sorry. No way should he have cancelled the meeting. Or Dara O'Brien. Tell Dara Cleary to come out. And Dara O'Brien. Dara O'Brien, tell Dara O'Brien to come out in front of these people and tell them why he cancelled the meeting today.
Like, there should be no question about it. We need 100%. We shouldn't be here today. We've all taken a day off work to come here today.
Can I just
We
say
shouldn't have to do
something,
that.
Charlie, by the way?
You know?
Do you see if someone dies in Donegal because of this scandal, this could be your party's Grenfell. The whole world will know about it.
You're
then.
right.
You saw what happened in Kensington. It's still there. The Tory government are still paying the price for that.
That's right. You're 100% right. Have somebody days in Fianna Fáil's in power. They're destroyed. They're finished.
Listen, my objective and working with Fianna Fáil in power is to actually sort this out.
Well, Charlie,
And to get
we've
one
asked for emergency houses, or dangerous houses with red flags and people to be taken out and rehomed. Why is that not happening? We've asked and we've begged the government, we've begged them to do this here. There's people living in houses at the minute that can't afford renting somewhere else. These normal things, they're not happening.
Did you ever give a thought to the old age pensioner that's living in a Micah house that, what are we on now, 10 years, some of them? Will they be there in another 10 years to see it finished? To see it fixed? Like, did you ever think about that? Think about that, like,
I think about all of this, but Paddy, I think about all of this. I mean, I don't think there's probably never been a political issue in any county of the scale and the impact on people that this has been, and it's been going on for many years. And I've been talking to families right across the county who have been affected. You do well to go one house or two houses without running into talking to a family.
Minister, will there be a public inquiry? Will there be a public inquiry?
I think I think there does need to be a public
There
inquiry.
has to be a public inquiry.
You spoke about a review earlier. A review is not a public inquiry.
It's not already in place.
10 years.
Are you for real? It's not already in place, a public inquiry for what we're all going through. There's no public inquiry. Isn't that what you're there for us? To see why this happened. There's no public inquiry.
Well, listen, there's been a process undergone.
See some of the people on there that really don't seem to know what's going on. Let them know that
read it to yourself, Charlie, too.
Have you?
No, you know, Charlie, but there's people on there
I've
who
read
don't
this
seem to
in
know.
and out and lived this in and out as well.
Read it out loud when you come there.
With everybody's
Well, that's
So
what I'm saying. Any of them TDs out there and let them go out and speak this.
Hey,
Whenever you're on there.
Yeah, Starrett,
Aye.
if you're debating in there with people about the 100%,
For 2 or 3 leaflets, you need to give them some more in there.
if you're debating in there for 100%, then you know who you're debating with, who doesn't want to give the 100%. So what is their argument why we shouldn't get 100%?
Why, exactly. Why can they say no?
There's a process that has to be gone through for any
If it was,
decision that the
no,
state
no,
makes.
there's no process. If every one of you won 100%, then we'd have 100%. You know who doesn't.
But
you're the bank's one night, wasn't it?
One night.
One night, one night, the bank is one night, wasn't it? One night.
How long does it take for a pay rise, Charlie?
This isn't our fault.
Stroke of a pen.
It's really important, I think, that homeowners are central to what's happening now in terms of addressing all the issues to make sure that it's done right.
We wanted the end of September.
And then
This isn't our fault. That was the bank's fault.
Once the working group, of course it's not. This is
Well, it's a shambles. It's a total another shambles. Any government can turn out for 46 billion for the banks and 2.5 million for children's hospitals, and the one-time families, Irish family homes are supposed to
Taxpayers
Irish
have it.
citizens, taxpayers, and they seem to turn the backs in. That's just shambles.
You're
They'll never-
encouraged
they'll
to buy
bring
your
us-
own home.
But what
And
was
this
done
is
in
the
Galway
banks
will like
that
in
we
10
get.
years' time, a houses falling everywhere.
Encouraged to buy us to pay
No, no,
taxes.
seriously,
Make
Charlie.
all the homes fixed.
No, but seriously, what is it going to look like?
There's not a chance.
Say
Children,
10 years,
Charlie,
what-
children are growing up
Ah,
in
you know,
houses that
you
are
see it
falling
now,
down
but-
and they can't take it and
That's
it's
the top
not
of the
fair.
iceberg.
So you think of the children coming
Absolutely,
behind us
I know.
because would you want your wee wains to be living in a Jamaica house? I don't think so.
Certainly not.
So
And
that's
it's been-
what's important.
it's been
It'd be a
Okay?
different story.
an
And
unbelievable,
you have to get
an unbelievable
100%.
endurance and
No
difficult and
You
impactful.
you know
Yeah.
who's against the
Because we get
100%.
tortured.
Tell them to come out here and explain their principles and stand by their principles.
So,
You know,
yeah,
like,
so listen
and
to me.
There's a question raised which wasn't answered. I think of yourself about who's opposition to 100% and what's the reason?
tell them to come out. Tell them if they've got principles, come out and tell us why they're against it.
Because we can't understand
The man
why.
is opposition can come down and say. He can come down here, sure, he's opposition too.
So listen, once
Explain why he's
it's been
opposition.
you know, Patrick, it's not easy being involved in it in terms of the working group and that, and they've done really good work. And in terms of teasing out and looking at all the issues, once that working group then
We
back
are
and
something
finishes,
like
yeah,
Shouldn't
then it
have
comes back
to
to
do
government,
that,
and I'll be doing everything in my power.
So you're going to come there now and say these lads are ready to rock and roll? Let's go.
Well, listen, that's the working group will do that,
And you can come down and just get all on there. You can say to them, hey, look, that's what we're going to do. Today's the day.
whenever the working
You
group
can
meets,
ask
that's
Aaron
when
Green,
they'll
why
do
are
that.
you cancelling meeting? Why are you cancelling meeting? There's not one meeting should be cancelled.
I don't know why the meeting didn't happen today, but it needs to happen very soon. Okay, and I'm not sure what the reasons are, but it
Big
needs to
dish
happen.
of steak,
Needs
on
to be
there,
scheduled
probably.
immediately.
They want to see the proposal first. We're sitting with the proposal and saying, right, let's go. And we want answers at the end of September or not less, or we'll end up having
Charlie, we know
Dublin
you'll
and the
have to
whole
do the
of
right
Ireland
thing
will see
because
you
you're living
again.
in Donegal and you know you're going to do the right thing.
So you being
I see that part here, if you have to walk from it, walk.
on the end of September,
You'd
we
be
have
better
an
thought of
answer.
if you walk, Charlie.
Yeah.
You won't.
Aye.
Stand up for us, not for them.
Stand
You'd be
up
better
for
thought of
you.
it at home.
I'll
You have to
tell
think you love at home. Sorry about it.
Because see if you don't get it to work, Charlie, you're finished in Donegal.
Absolutely.
You know it.
You have a chance to redeem it, Charlie. You really do have a chance to redeem it. You'll have every good year, we can get 100%.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked hard on this at all stages, and I still am,
Push it to
and I
the
will be, and I'm glad to be there to be able to do that.
I'm telling you, you get us here 100%.
That's fair enough, Charlie. We'll see how you do.
You send the ones out who are against 100% and let them explain themselves. Tell them to put their big boy pants on and get out here and have a bit of principles.
This is all about positive action, and can we
Yeah.
ask you to commit to that as well on behalf of this 100% retail? Leave it on that.
I am absolutely committed to it, absolutely.
Okay,
And listen, and I know nobody wants to be here today. Nobody wants to be here today, and nobody wants, like, I mean, what everybody's had to go through over the last number of years has been torturous. And, you know, it's torturous for the county, you know, every family, every counties, and I've obviously been counties. Every family has, you know, is affected by their family members that have it, and the pressure and stress that they all see.
So we end it now, Charlie. Get it ended first now.
My
Come
only
on.
objective is to work with you
Go
all.
for it on there.
And that's my
This gentleman asked you to send out the people who are opposed to it. Send them out.
Another question there, Charlie, is whenever the scheme is put in place, will the scheme be a forever scheme or will it be a 10-year scheme and then scrap it? Or will it be permanent forevermore?
It needs to be a scheme that fixes every home.
Forevermore?
Yeah.
Until every house that's discovered that has it that don't know it now?
And do the job properly.
I have 5 kids under 8.5, Charlie. I cannot afford to start building another house, man.
No.
None of us can.
I have to put them through education. I can't falter on a mortgage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has to be a forever scheme.
It has to
It can't be scrapped 10 years down the road and for the government to say it's costing the government too much.
fix all homes for good.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
some of the government has turned they can do it. They bailed out the banks, so they can do this.
That's it. Bottom line, you're 100%.
So listen, I'll go in here because it's about.
Right, that's fair enough, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
After me, or what? A couple of American come out and acknowledge this, will you, Charlie?
Okay. Good luck, everybody.
All right, Charlie.
Thanks,
Thanks, Charlie.
Point word of Michal Martin telling you pull the plug. If you're going to do it publicly, be safe to Michal.
See you. All right, Charlie. Thanks, man.
Flying in now.